everybody. Welcome to the Lucky Die. Obviously, this is Casey and not Volonda. And I'm not gonna do the very ominous welcome to the Lucky Die thing because tonight's game is super lighthearted. I'm running a fun little one shot with some really great friends who I'm gonna have introduce themselves. So, Sage, who are you? Where can we find you? And who are you playing?
What's up? I'm Sage. My pronouns are they, them. You can typically find me on the Venture Maidens channel and podcast where I play Kara Brynhilda, a dwarven barbarian cleric, and I am also coming up in September starting to run Kobold Press's Empire of Ghouls with a super cool cast of folks. And you can find me at Staff of Sage on Twitter. And today I am very excited to play Abernathy. She is a big, powerful, rotund woman with Popeye forearms and gams for days, with a big old hearty belly that jiggles when she laughs, and she is a joyous woman who is a divination wizard, so she can always call her grandkids.
Morgan, who are you?
Hi, I'm Morgan. You can find me on Twitter at ThistleRaven. You can also find me on the Lucky Dice sister podcast, Taking Initiative, where I play the wonderful barbarian Surreal. We are cruising through our second season. Come check us out. And today I'm playing Philomena Bean, and she's a very tall Luxodon. She's an elephant lady. And she is a bard. She loves the stories. She loves traveling. She loves telling things, loves seeing the sights, likes eating, all the good things in life.
It just occurred to me I probably should have done this in alphabetical order or something, but whatever. Ralph, who are you?
Hello, I'm Ralph Attanasia. I'm most notably found on TLC's Cake Boss and Food Network's Buddy vs. Duff, among others. You can find me online at Cake Boss Ralph. I'm going to be playing Bimp Rummage, who is a goblin rogue. He's a cranky old man with little spectacles and big white mutton chops and rodent-like teeth. He's not all of which are his own original equipment.
Very nice. Bee.
Hello. My name is Bee. Normally you can find me on Twitter as at @Bee_Zelda. I am a member of the Broadswords, which is an all-women non-binary D&D podcast. I am a professional GM with Magpie Games. I run Root and Bluebeard's Bride if you ever want to sit at my table. Ow! Oh, and I also hit my wrist aggressively on my glass table. We'll watch the bruise develop as the game goes. This wonderful evening, I'm going to be playing Vond. They're a water genocide. I'm a druid, but I often just look like I'm a little sweaty, and I often have to wipe my palms off on just about everything that I touch. I'm not entirely sure how I got here or why these people still want to be my friends. I just kind of leave a wet trail of water everywhere I go. But they've been really nice, so this is great.
Okay. I love all of your characters so far. Harold.
Hello, I am Harold online. I'm Harold Pyroburn. In life, I'm Harold Blaney. You can find me as Isley O'Keefe, a terrible Irish accent, or a not too bad New York accent from Remember It's Not a Test, where I also play with Ralph and Casey. I'm also a Wattpad author, I guess, because I have things up on there at Larry's Pub. And I'm going to be playing Dormund Oberon. I'm a Goliath barbarian with...
How are you doing that?
I'm just staring at everyone right now. So Oberon's gonna be just confused and happy that people like paying attention to him. Usually he walks into places and everyone's just afraid, as he used to be a pirate, and now he's just a big, solid jerk boy who's trying not to be too much of a jerk. And that's it. So Yeah, that's who I'm going to be playing tonight.
What just happened?
Character voices, yo.
Harold, I think you swallowed a computer.
Not again.
And then finally, we got Andy.
Hi, you can call me Andy because that's my name. I use he, him pronouns, and you can find me on Twitter at AndyLion92, or as the producer of Tabletop Roulette, an actual play anthology podcast featuring a rotating cast of players, GMs, and games, focusing specifically on players of marginalized backgrounds. We play all kinds of tabletop games except for this one. Today I will be playing Truviel, the half-elf ranger, and apparently the only person in this party with self-confidence, and I don't have a cool character voice, so you're stuck with this one. Have fun.
Oh, this is great. I'm excited. Our intrepid group of adventurers, you guys are sitting down in Tom's Tavern in your local town. You are actually waiting on a client. You guys are an adventuring party, and you have been kind of things have been slow as of late. So you went on to Fantasy Craigslist to find someone who needed some help. And you got in contact with a woman named Nadija, and she's actually at the bar right now getting you guys all some coffee. So you guys are just at a table waiting on Nadija.
Can I ask why we all asked for coffee? Not that I'm the alcoholic in the party or anything, but I'm still unclear. Hold on, let me just wipe off my sweaty hands. I'm still unclear.
Listen, you don't come to Tom's and not get coffee. They're known for it.
Well, this is my first time here. It's got a really nice vibe. Everybody has beards, even the women. It's great.
Yeah, they're known for that too.
Good vibe.
To be fair, nobody ever said that coffee can't have alcohol in it.
Whoa. I mean, that sounds kind of intense, but Trivial, you always have to say intense things.
So we're doing coffee and beards as a good thing. Yes, that's right.
Gormand, you are so tall right now that it's almost like the wind is taking away your voice, and I'm having a bit of a hard time hearing you.
It's like thunder in the mountaintops.
Yeah, wow, that was beautiful.
No, we're doing coffee and beards, and that's good. That's what we've. Yes. Okay. Good. Just so I know.
I don't know that the beads are available to procure, per se.
Well, it depends on who you're trying to buy from.
Does it?
I knew a guy once that sold his beard.
I want to know more about this.
As you ask to know more about this, Najija walks back over. She is a half elf. She has her hair is kind of piled up high in a bun, and she's got golden brown skin, and she's wearing kind of a goldish hued dress, and she's got a tray of coffees, and she's going to give each of you guys a coffee. What did you all order? What kind of coffee did you guys order?
Abernathy absolutely drinks tea Earl Grey hot, but since they don't have tea, she's fine. And so instead, she has a Turkish coffee with cinnamon sticks that have been used to stir in a very heavy clotted cream.
Very nice.
Black and a ton of sugar. I feel like that's all he's got.
We just watch you continually add sugar cubes.
Exactly. It's just 5 minutes of sugar cubes of this 8-foot tall Goliath. Yeah.
It's just like a sugar slushy at that point, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. It's likable.
I don't know what Truviel has, but whatever it is, he pulls a flask off of his hip and adds his own secret ingredient to it. Because that's apparently where I'm going with this character.
Hell yeah. Vond definitely has 8 shots of espresso in their cup. But like when they notice Truviel kind of like unclasping their flask with like shaky hands, hey, do you think you want to like pour a little bit of that in here?
Yes, I suppose I can spare some. And he'll pour just like a bare minimum splash in there.
I'd like to use sleight of hand to swap my cup for one of the ones with alcohol in it.
That would be Truviel's or mine. I hope you get mine.
Okay, give me.
I'm thinking yours. Like I feel like Truviel pours some in, you set it down, and I just swoop them around.
Give me a sleight of hand roll.
All right. We're
starting off our first
and my
D&D
sleight
roll.
of hand at +7 is 25.
Wow, okay, you do it.
I don't even notice. I'm just like shaking
Level 3!
and like wiping my sweat off of like Gormon's legs.
So at level 3, if you are a rogue, you get one of your skills. The proficiency is doubled for expertise, and I put that into sleight of hand.
Nice.
This might just be like a regular occurrence, like between us two. Maybe this is why I keep upping my espresso shots, you know?
I want to say, what the hell's my name? Oh yeah, Rummage.
It's on the screen in front of you.
What the hell's my name?
Yeah, Rummage got the coffee specialty of the house, like the one they're known for. I feel like it's a whole like pour over thing. They bring you like a little silver pot of hot water with like a paper cone with the coffee grounds in it, and you have to sit and let it steep. But that's like he's there for it.
It's got lavender syrup in it.
Mm-hmm.
It's very fancy.
Wait, but that's what I get to drink now?
Yeah.
And you have some of the AF.
Oh, yeah, win-win.
And somehow don't notice that it's a completely different cup.
No, I'm honestly just really nervous and sweating and profusely while we're sitting in this chair. And Nadisha, was that her name?
Nadisha.
Thank you. Is, I guess, probably looking at us expectantly.
Yeah. What did Philomena get? What kind of coffee did Philomena get?
Philomena probably got like a little flat white. You know, just something that they could put like a little tree or a flower on top with, you know, with the foam. That's quite nice, isn't it? She likes that. It's pretty.
Yeah, there's a real nice little flower in the foam.
Yeah.
So Nadisha sits down and she takes her coffee. She got a cappuccino, pretty simply, and she's like, okay, so thank you guys all for coming here to meet me and answering my ad on Fantasy Craigslist. I really appreciate it. I'm kind of in a bind.
Oh, of course, darling. Anything to help a young wayward youth as yourself.
I mean, we always try to help whoever we can.
And there can be a lot of weirdos, you know, on Fantasy Craigslist. So it's good you got us, because we're not weirdos. Or we're not those kind of weirdos, you know.
You never know who you're going to meet on Fantasy Craigslist. Met a guy on there once that sold me his beard.
I'm dying to know more about this.
Yeah, we were waiting for the story, but we didn't quite get to it.
There's no time for that. What can we help you with?
So, I actually, I'm a musician and I have a big concert tonight. And I need, this is going to sound so silly, but I'd feel a lot better about going to the concert if I knew someone would be able to escort my grandmother home. And she points across the tavern, and there is an older woman playing pinochle with an older gentleman.
What, out in public where everyone can see?
Oh, of course. We've got to look after our own.
Yeah, she lives out in the Goblin Fey Woods. We've been trying to get her to move closer to town for a few years now, but she likes her cabin. She does not want to leave those woods, and they can be quite treacherous. So,
Yeah, those goblins can be a real problem.
I mean, it's not. She looks a little uncomfortable. And she's like, well, I mean, it's not just the goblins. It's, the bugbears and
Mosquitoes.
the bat bears.
You gotta watch out for the mosquitoes if you don't have any, long sleeves. It's a big deal.
Yeah, mosquitoes are terrifying.
Yeah, there are a lot of mosquitoes out there. You get a lot of hobgoblins. A lot of other things. It's not ideal. For an elderly lady such as my grandmother, living by herself out there.
So what does this job pay?
I can pay you guys about 300 gold pieces for this.
I'm sorry, what?
300 gold pieces.
To walk an old woman back to her cottage.
Yeah. She's my grandmother. She's really important to me.
Yeah, that's a bit below our normal rate for a job like that. Could you make it 350?
Abernathy smacks Bimp's hand and is like, dear, we will escort this beloved member of their community home, and we will ensure her safety. Y'all better respect your elders here. I know you an old man. I know you've been in this lady's place.
350 and the big one will move her cottage to town for you.
But she wouldn't like that, so I'm going to stick with 300.
That's fine, dear.
Shouldn't be too hard.
Okay, great. So, she's just through the Goblin Fey Woods, and then meet me back here at Tom's afterwards, and I'll pay you. That's about it. I'm gonna go get my grandmother, and she gets up and walks over to get her grandmother.
Trivial, what was that?
300 gold pieces to walk an old woman home through the woods.
Yes, that
I think that's perfectly reasonable, do you not? She might even have some groceries we can carry.
Does it not sound like a sweetheart of a deal to anyone else?
Yeah, the simple fact that she has, 1,800 gold to just sit around and hand out to people to bring her grandmother somewhere is kind of weird.
Wait. Go on.
I think
Are
we're
you-
splitting the 300.
Yeah.
You're ambitious.
Oh,
Very ambitious. Keep that up.
well,
But still, that's nearly 100 gold for the rest of you to split.
Truviel's doing math on his fingers.
Yeah. Bond is right there with you. They're gonna
and
combine
looking
their
very
fingers.
Confused. Yeah, Truviel, moves his hand between Vaughn's fingers and,
No
So,
conclusions
for-
are drawn.
For the fear of actually playing D&D, could I have rolled an insight check?
Oh, 100% you can roll an insight
I'd
check.
love to
Risky
roll.
business.
Yeah.
I forgot that we can, roll things.
Honestly,
and
straight
stuff.
up.
Playing
Isn't it
D&D
incredible?
at D&D?
can I actually do that as well? Because that seems like a good idea.
Well, it was real shit. I got a 10.
I got a 23.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
You definitely feel like there's something a little bit deeper, but it does seem like she just genuinely wants to get her grandmother home.
Yeah, I think she's real worried about the woods and she doesn't want to tell us about it.
Well, it's nothing we can't handle, dears. I know we're a tough bunch.
And so, do you guys want to do anything else while you wait for them to come back?
Vehemently
Malaysia
drink our
and-
coffee.
If I've finished, I'm going to say I finished my shot of
It was 6
Vans.
shots of espresso with a shot of alcohol.
Yeah, I finished that and then swapped the empty cup back. I'm going to try to pull that off.
Okay.
I've taken like one sip out of the coffee you swapped.
Yeah.
All right, that's 10. That's a 17.
Cue in about 4 minutes when your man's just vibrating like a fucking
Like, is
like
there
a
a
wind-up toy.
constitution check we can do on Blimp? Like, how is he holding up?
Bimp.
Oh, not with all those shots. He's blown up a little bit.
At a 17, I guess, do you want to roll anything to counteract that, or do you want to
Sure.
just let it happen?
I don't have any. I'm a druid, and my hobbies are sleeping in water.
You think that would be like perception? Or?
Probably perception.
Yeah, it would definitely be a
Yeah,
perception
noticing.
check.
22.
Oh,
22?
22. You definitely see that.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think what happens, though, is like I see you try to reach for it and just like, and I knock over your coffee that you were trying to take.
Hey.
She's right. Or yeah, They right.
They're right.
They right, you know? That's quite a lot for you, little man.
Look at you. You are shaking more than me. That's not okay. Let me here. I'm just gonna wipe some of my sweat.
I
off
don't
on
know
you.
what you're talking about.
Truviel puts his cup on top of Bimp so that he can get like a nice frothy foam on his coffee.
Listen, stop utilizing my vibrations.
So now you want to like look around, go up to the bar, anything like that?
I would like to, let's see, this character would like to turn around and see if there's anyone in the booths next to us.
Oh, yeah, 100%. So the only other patrons in the entire bar, you see a human man with a brunette mullet, a short, bald dwarf with big old glasses, and an elf with curly hair wearing a skirt with loafers. And you actually can overhear them because they're being quite loud. And the human man says, This is I can't do this impression. Maybe I was lying, but isn't it a faux pas to cast Zone of Truth on a date? And then the bald dwarf says, this is why I can't date an enchanter, Jerry. One charm and it's goodbye, George.
No.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
Well, that seems like something we want to avoid at all costs.
Wonderful.
This written for you by my younger sibling who is obsessed with Seinfeld. I was really hoping I'd get to do that one.
Would it be smart to ask, I'm looking at everybody at the table, would it be smart to not talk to them, but to ask anyone else if, like, she's totally sent people on this before and none of them have come back?
You can try to talk to them if you want to.
Oh no, I'm talking to all of my people at my table, being like, is this a smart idea to ask anyone else whether or not, like, this woman has asked other people to go on this mission, and then they've never come back? Would that be a smart idea? I think that would be a smart idea.
At the very least, we could gather up some information about these woods.
Yeah, we traveled here, didn't we? So did we go through them when we came here, or no? Do we go around? Because there's a lot of gratuitous murder in there that we decided to avoid. Can we rely on our past selves to be like, fuck no?
Is that the way we done came from, or is that we haven't been there?
No, it's you guys haven't been through the Goblin Fey Woods. You guys came from a different
Could maybe
way
dream
from
of it.
town. But I definitely know what the town looks like and what it's called and all of that stuff. So don't bother asking me because I definitely know the answer.
Fey Woods?
Yeah,
I definitely bothered to write that part.
the town of Odenkirk.
Yeah, Philomena, I'm so glad you'd write on the table with the remaining
Goblin
coffee
Fey
that you
Woods,
have.
yeah.
It's a great way to take notes.
You know, there's a long-standing thing about my kind that we've got a memory that's just incredible. And I really wish that hadn't skipped me over. But unfortunately, I've got to take a note or I'll just write in my brain and then write out again. So, got to take prodigious notes. Prodigious? Prodigious. That's the right word.
I believe you. Whatever the word is. Yeah. And they're going to wipe off some of their hand, like sweaty palm sweat on your arm.
No, there's a difference between prodigious and prestigious, isn't there?
Prestigious.
Because Doesn't prodigious means that it's rather a lot of it, and prestigious means that it's quite good. And yeah. I won't say that my notes are anywhere near prestigious.
Yeah, prestigious
Mostly
is like
they just say
magicians.
big, over-caffeinated, and goblin Feywild sound shit.
Wow, those are wonderful, though. Wonderful. Yeah.
So they're very concise.
There are an awful lot more of each of you than usual.
There's a lot of spilled coffee on this table, so, that's great.
Well, it's spilled coffee that's not inside Bimp right now, so I think we're winning in the end.
Yeah.
So are we going to talk to these people, or...
Not those three. The other people. Are there other people?
No, those are the only them, the bartender, and the grandma and
Do you think the grandma is just doing that thing where she kind of talks for too long and they're trying to go, but the grandma's just talking to her friend forever and they're not making any progress because she said she would be over with her grandma 5 minutes ago, and I'm getting really, really worried.
That's true.
And after as you say that, she walks back over with her grandma, and she comes over and she's like, "Okay, you guys, this is my grandmother." And the grandma says, "Oh, foo, my name is Yelitza. It's nice to meet you."
Yelitza?
Yelitza.
I feel like I'm
That's
saying what
normal
you're
for you,
saying, but
Bim.
it still isn't right.
That's a family name. Yelitza.
Your name is Bimp. Are you really in a place to be making fun of someone else's name?
I'm sorry, Truviel. Bimp is a common goblin name.
My
Well,
condolences
it's lovely
to the
to
goblins.
meet you, dearie, dear
Thank you.
Yelitza. We will ensure that you have a safe journey back to your home, sweetheart. And she takes with her grandmotherly hand and takes the hand of Yelitza and does a little pat.
She flips your hand around and starts doing the grandmotherly pat back to you and is like, "Oh, you all don't have to worry about me. I don't know why my granddaughter is so concerned. I go through the Goblin Fey Woods all the time. I came through them to get here." And
I'm going to nudge Philomena gently in the ribs and go, "Watch this. Oh, if only I had one of those little strawberry candies or maybe a bit of soda bread."
Abernathy immediately produces it for you.
There's
At the
two
same
grandmas in
time,
the room. There was
Yelitza
no
also-
way one of them didn't have it.
whatever Abernathy has, Yelitza has the other thing.
Tons and tons of different hard candies in her bag. That's her thing. That's like her road food.
As I stuff those things away in my little pouch, I turn to Mina and go, "There's still probably a pretty good chance of getting a hard toffee or something."
Bimp really likes sugar, doesn't he? Is that what we're all getting at?
I'm just trying to help you out. It's free things to get.
From our party members, the grandma's part of our party now, I think that's how it works. There was a bit of a sound. Yeah,
Takes
when
one
they
sip
stepped
of
into
coffee.
our circle.
It's done.
So Yelitza's like, "Well, we might as well get going, right?"
Ah, yes, are we heading out now?
Yes.
I think that's fair to say.
Onward.
Are there any groceries you need us to carry, Yelitza? Vaughn will prefer their sweaty palms for any baskets of bread or anything.
Groceries? No, not particularly.
Well, it's quite the binary question. There either are groceries or there aren't.
No, there's no groceries. I didn't come to town to buy groceries. I came into town to visit my granddaughter.
Oh, my apologies. I just always thought that we had to bring groceries when we walk little old ladies around. Sometimes when we walk Bimp to, his home, we have to carry his groceries for him, and I just thought that was normal.
Oh, my back. Ooh.
All right, as much as I've enjoyed our meal here, shall we be on our way?
Oh, yes.
Let's go.
Truviel stands up and starts making for the door.
I put the spoons in my pocket, and we go.
Typical.
This I just do openly, though. I just start taking them off the table.
That's that kind of brazenness that lets you get away with it, right? If you were being surreptitious, they'd be like, what are you doing with our spoons? But just the fact that you're like, these are my spoons and I'm taking them now. It's sort of like, I'm not going to fuck with that.
If he was stealing, he wouldn't be so bold about it. So those must be his spoons.
Clearly he must have brought those spoons. Those were his all along. They look like our spoons, but they clearly are not our spoons. Because otherwise, he wouldn't just be shoving them into every, pocket that he has.
I wait until they leave, and I leave a gold at the table.
For the spoons.
So, you guys walk out of the tavern, and the 7 of you, right, 7? I can't count. Walk towards
6.
Well, because Elisa.
Oh, yeah, good point. Yeah, that's
6.
7.
So
we just leave her there.
You guys forget.
Job well done.
Forget Yelitza, and you have to walk back to the tavern
please.
to go grab her. And then the 7 of you then continue on. You walk a little bit out of town, and there is a kind of soft path starting out of town. You follow the path for a while. And for a while, your trek goes pretty uneventfully. Yelitza actually stops you guys at one point, pulls out a bag of figs from her purse and is like, I just really need a snack. And she offers up some to you guys.
I love that.
Oh!
Thank you so much.
Oh, dear. And Abernathy will produce a baguette and goat cheese to go with the figs.
So you guys stop and have a full-on little picnic.
Where did you
As one does.
pull that baguette from?
Don't
My
ask
grandmother
questions.
never tells.
Speaking of that, I've got I got a jar of pickles in here that I did not too long ago. I just put it in my bag.
Oh, lovely!
Yeah.
Would anybody like a spoon?
Very, very useful. Wow, thank you.
While this picnic is going on, I'm going to keep watch.
I love that this has just been such a pleasant encounter so far. What have you done? Well, we had coffee, and then we went for a picnic.
I said it's a cottagecore D&D one shot. It's going to be very soft and nice. Well, there will be D&Ding, I promise.
If you're like, there will be a
These
dragon that
assholes.
takes a giant shit upon you in about 3 minutes.
We're gonna stumble upon the Great British Bake Off in the middle of these woods.
Mary Betty is going to kill all of us.
She's the final boss. Yeah.
She has to be.
Yeah.
As a contribution, sorry, I don't think Vond really has anything except a tablecloth.
It's slightly
Nice.
damp,
Well,
but
that's
it's
good.
really appreciated.
Definitely a little damp.
Can I have a little chat with you, Lisa, while we're doing this?
Yeah, of course.
So, Mistress Elisa, you're
Oh, just Yelitza, please.
All right. Now, you were in town to see your granddaughter, but you didn't want to see her perform.
Oh, well, she didn't want me to come.
Oh, that's a shame. Oh, that's such a shame. Well, I tell you what. I've got some pipes here. I'll take out a little pan flute and I'll play her a little tune to make up for the fact that her granddaughter's like.
Rutherford does a little rat dig. He
I love
gets
it.
up on
A
his
jig,
hind
a wee
legs,
little
and
Rutherford jig. I do a little song,
he does
a little jig.
dance. With a tiny rat tambourine.
I love it.
You guys enjoy a lovely little picnic, some beautiful music, a little rat dancing, you know. Yulitza takes the spoons
The
and starts
end.
doing
Yeah,
tapping out
and then we're
a
done.
little. That's it. That's the whole game. No, so then you guys continue on, and after a while, you actually get to a tree stump that is carved with that map that I sent you.
Ah. And on top of it is a beetle, and we catch it, and then we take it to an owl in the middle of the woods who gives us credit for it.
Oh, look, a shooting star.
Oh!
Listen, we dig
We
up
already 5 dinosaur
did
bones.
one-
We already have.
We already did one tabletop game together. That was a video game. Why not another?
Yeah, just Animal Crossing.
I found a rock. Now it's mine, no roll.
I caught a sea bass.
Well, those are
C+.
really rare.
That's at least a C+.
Yeah. Aren't you glad you caught one of those? You've never seen one of those before in your life. Fuckers.
Yulitza says to you guys, you know, oh, well, there's 2 ways that we can go about getting to my house. That's my house right there. And she points to the what is marked in pink on your map. It's a little past the past the forest. You guys see that there's a path that goes through the entire forest that does end at not end, but it goes past her house. But you do see that a quicker way to go through would be to go off the path. So that is up to you guys.
Well, should we take the quicker path or the more, shall we say, scenic route? You know, what kind of mood are we in today?
We have an elephant and a giant. Let's just go through the trees.
It's taken us this long to get to just here. I feel like if we
You're still here.
take the scenic... Sorry, I didn't see you down there. It's taken us this long to get here. If we take the scenic route, it may be next Tuesday before we actually get this old woman home.
A good point.
Do we even have Tuesday? I don't know how the calendar in this world works.
It is Tuesday
It's
right
every
now.
week goes Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday, Fourday, Fivesday, Saturday.
It is Tuesday today, and you guys, when you left the tavern, it was around 2 p.m.
I thought you were going to say it was Wednesday.
No, that was yesterday.
You took an entire
Wednesday.
day in the tavern, just fucking around with coffee. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm surprised that time even has relevance to Bimp right now. Like, he's just blipping
I only
out.
mention it because I literally only mention it because it's literally in the notes.
Oh, well,
Like, it's very specifically noted in the notes that Claudia wrote. It is Tuesday at 2 p.m. I don't know why.
Alliteration. It's beautiful.
I guess
Just in
we'll
case.
find out.
Anyway, so what is your guys' plan?
I'd
short
say we
road
cut
it
through
is.
the trees.
I say through the trees as well.
Okay, so then Ralph, I'm gonna have you.
Anybody else wanna weigh in on this, or
I'm fine with that.
we're a company.
I'm bad at looking for things that might be, like a trap or a hunter snare, and I don't really want to put my foot in it. So if there's someone who's a bit better at looking for those kinds of things to go first, I would appreciate it. But I don't mind going through it.
That's why we have an elf.
Okay, Ralph, roll me a d4.
What? Why? Okay.
I
'Cause I
think
asked
I'm
you to.
far too nervous to
3.
make a choice.
So number 3.
Okay. What order are you guys walking through the woods in?
I guess I'll go first. Because I'm a giant. Just an idea. If anyone else
I
would
will
like to go
be-
first, feel free.
I will be about a step and a half behind the giant because forest is my favorite terrain.
I'll be behind the elf.
Abernathy, she's a little bit slower, so she'll be hanging with Yelitza in the back, and she also really likes to point out all the different bird species and everything, and she's got like her little safari hat on.
Oh,
She's very
that's so charming. I'll be with them. That sounds lovely. I'll take my little flute. No stealth here because I'm an elephant, you know. And I'll take my little flute and I'll play as a little tune through the.
I
through
think
the,
I'm in front
forest.
of Philomena because I really wanted to be a part of the conversation with Abernathy and Yelitza, but due to Philomena's size, I'm just kind of like walking backwards, staring at her back, and like occasionally like nervously wiping off my forehead sweat and like wiping it on the ground. Like, can I? And like looking left and looking right. Like, I just really wanted to hear what the old folks were saying and maybe absorb some of their wisdom. But I'm mostly just
Are you sure you can
jam into
absorb
the
anything?
music.
You're getting rid of a lot of water.
So you guys walk on for a little while. And after maybe like 15, 20 minutes of walking, you guys come across an immaculate kitchen counter. On the counter, there is a jar of deep, rich purple jam, a butter knife,
Time
and
out.
a bread box full of thick, fluffy bread.
Hey, everybody, remember
Have
when
we
had...
actually walked into the Great British Bake Off in the middle of the woods?
Oh, what's this
Okay, time
now?
in. I'm sorry. Go
No,
ahead.
no.
Okay, so we've had picnic. Now what about second picnic?
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. I'm very enthusiastic about
Are we
this.
sure that this is a goblin wood and not a halfling wood?
It's Goblin Fae.
Wait, it's Goblin Fae.
It's Faye. You know the Tom Hardy gif from Mad Max where he's like, "That's a trap. That's a trap."
Yeah, I'd say this is a trap.
But I'm really
That
hungry,
makes-
I think.
Oh, Vand. Here, I'll find a snack for you somewhere. I've got something in here, and I'll go around.
Look at that jam. Look,
I
look,
know,
it is
I know. It looks
beautiful.
wonderful. It looks wonderful. It looks like it'll probably turn your insides inside out. So here, have a biscuit, and I'll pull like a hobnob or whatnot out of my bag, and I'll give you a hobnob.
I would like to try to snatch it before it gets to her.
Okay.
Philomena's going to give you a very intense look down
Not if
at
she doesn't
you.
see me do it.
My perception's really high, so let's say
Yeah, roll
All
me
right.
perception, Morgan.
I have advantage
All right, I
on
got
that sucker.
I got a 14 with my +7 for sleight of hand, so that's 21.
Am I supposed to roll against that? Or no. Philomena roll against that.
It's me, and you just beat it because I got a 20. You little rascal.
Just by the
It's like in a Looney Tune when like you hold something out and just the wind comes by and takes it.
You see that? There might be all sorts of crazy things in this woods. Vand, I just see that biscuit got snatched out of my hand by God itself. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to get another biscuit.
I'm going to be slowly inching towards the jam while I'm waiting for that biscuit. And like I feel like between the time that Bimp has been able to steal it, like I've made some distance.
Yeah, and honestly,
Can I just grab the jam and lift it higher than they can, like,
Oh, but you pick it up.
actually grab it?
yeah.
Yeah, alright. I'm just gonna grab the jam and lift it up in the air.
Does anything terrible happen?
No, you
What?
have jam and it's in the
Oh
air.
my god, then I'm jumping for the jam because I wanted this heckin' jam.
Van,
well,
don't.
I will.
Van,
I'll play you a little tune
Don't.
so you can jam out.
All right, this is perfect.
If it gets much higher, it'll become Space Jam.
I
I throw the jam at Trivial.
May the Lord preserve him.
Well, now you've put me in a bit of a jam.
Yes!
Jam puns.
This has really turned into a sticky situation.
You don't have to admit that you're jelly of my jokes.
Oh, this is really spectacular.
Gonna
Peak
turn to
D&D
the
right now.
bard and say, well, here's your chance. Do your dance. Those are lyrics from the song Space Jam.
Yep, gotcha.
Yep.
It's the only thing I could think of. You guys had all the good jokes. So I was picking over the remains.
I will say that I have a slight edge here is that I've spent my quarantine summer literally making jam. So the Twitter I made for it is called self-preservation. So I have a slight edge on the jam jokes.
So if you're throwing the jam at Trivial?
After the Space Jam joke, I threw it at him.
Yep. Okay. So I'm gonna need you to roll. What would I have you roll to evade?
Dexterity?
I guess. Yeah, I guess throw a straight dex roll. I run D&D all the time. I know how it works.
Right?
I don't know how it works.
Shouldn't he just throw it against his AC?
Well, I'm gonna give him a chance to dodge out of the way because I'm sure he sees the jam coming. It's like a little it's like a jar of jam, you know.
Well, my dex is actually the exact same as my AC. That's a 13.
All right, what are you rolling to chuck the jam?
You want me to do a strength check to just do that?
It's
All right.
strengths. I know I can word strength.
Okay. It's cocked. Let's go with the 8. Not the natural 20. So the 8 plus my strength modifier is a 14.
With your...
14. So
Yeah.
you just managed to hit him, and you get hit with some jam, and you have I'm gonna have you take 1d4 damage. So please roll me a d4, Harold.
Gotta get
3.
that jamage.
What a sticky situation we found ourselves in.
So you take 3
Those started in
damage.
German. Yeah, 3.
And you also have disadvantage on your next turn in combat when we get into combat. Because of the jam. Because he's covered in jam and it's disgusting. It's not any special property of the jam. It's just that he's sticky.
Bond would like to approach Gourmand. Would you like me to there's some bread. I could just make a sandwich from you in the jam. And they're motioning a sandwich motion. Interpret that as you will.
I wish you hadn't said that. I wish you had just taken 2 pieces of bread and stuck them to him and declared him a sandwich.
Bond has to ask consent, may I please consume the jam that you are wearing? I will make a sandwich of you.
I think Trivial just holds his arm out.
I'm gonna I extend a monogrammed handkerchief that doesn't have my initials on it to him.
Who is F.U.?
I don't know, but they're not wiping their nose with it.
So wait, is Van eating? Is it going to taste some of the jam?
Trivial, would you can I just scrape some off? I mean, I don't mind making you a part of the sandwich. I've been a crocodile recently, and I think crocodiles will just eat anybody, just about anything.
No, by all means, go ahead and wipe it off of me.
Oh, okay. And I'll go through the motion of cutting the... Gourmand, are you looking down on me?
I'm just confused. Were you about to eat him?
They're looking left and right, and they're not going to answer, and they're just going to go over and cut some bread and scrape some off to reveal and eat a jam sandwich.
So
Anyone else concerned? No? Okay. I guess we just gotta go with that.
I'm gonna turn to Eliza and be like, back there in that cafe, I told your daughter we weren't weirdos. And boy, wasn't that a lie.
Boy, oh boy.
I stressed. I was like, we're not that weird, and it turns out
We are.
Yulitza's having a great time. She's like, oh no, you guys are a pack of cards. And as she says that, Band, you take 2 poison damage.
Oof. What does that look like?
You suddenly like feel like your stomach just start to like, it kind of starts to burn.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it doesn't. It's poison, so it doesn't particularly look like anything.
Okay. I mean, Vaughn's a little dramatic. They're nervous and worried about absolutely everything, and they might be a little bit of a hypochondriac. And like at the first pangs in their stomach, they collapse to the ground. Oh no! Oh no! I've been poisoned.
See, that's why you don't eat forest jam.
Yeah.
You were wearing the forest jam. What do? I'm just gonna like roll around on the ground for a little bit.
Oh, it's okay, dear. Don't worry. Just you're gonna puke it up, and then I'll give you some soda crackers, and you'll be in some ginger ale, and
My tummy,
you'll be right as rain.
It really hurts.
I think I got a Pepto in here. Hold on. So I'll go back in my bag.
Y'all, best party ever.
I can imagine that after traveling with you for quite some time and you stressing out over everything, we have what was in the birdcage? The Purin pills.
The Purin tablet.
The
Oh,
Purin
honey,
tablets.
they're just aspirin. I just scraped the A and the S off.
Yeah. They're just like, they're some sort of sugar candy. And they're like, oh, no, they're candy coated, but they'll fix you up right well. They'll fix you up just grand. They'll fix you up so good. So here, you take one of those, you'll be right as rain. It's a Skittle.
So I'm sitting on the ground, tears running down my eyes, snot running down my nose, mouth
You know
agape.
what they say, you've got to listen to that old proverb. When you're traveling through the woods and you see some jam and bread on a countertop that seems to come from out of nowhere, don't fucking trust it.
That's true. That's such a common turn
I
of
didn't
phrase.
want to believe it.
I
Use it
think
all
my
the time.
mother told me that when I was about your age, that, yeah, you know, you don't eat forest jam.
I've told Nadija that several times.
I think that's a very smart thing, considering.
My tummy still hurts.
All right, here.
It's okay. You'll be okay.
Let's see. Let's give her hold on. Let's see. What do I have? Not much, honestly, guys. If you're looking for some help here, and I kind of
It's the jam. Throw the jam away, please.
I
I
will
did.
give
I threw the
Van
jam. You took it anyway.
I will give Van a nice little tune to Don't Eat the Fucking Forest Jam. And in that, I will cast Healing Word. And you can do, 1d4 plus 2 hit points. So you'll get all of your wee little your tummy hit points back. And you'll be right as rain. Which is coming out of you profusely.
Well, what does that look like from you? Like, how do you
So
perform that?
What it's gonna sound like is that Philomena's gonna take her little pan flute and do a little tune, and in that it's going to reiterate the truth of not
That
eating
proverb?
forest jam. Yes.
Can it beat the tune of
Nice.
Funky Town?
Oh,
Don't
absolutely,
eat
it can be in the tune of
forest jam.
Oh, you're perfect. All right, perfect. That exactly. And as you do, you feel a little bit of like oh yeah, shouldn't eat the jam. And with that, your tummy feels a little bit better.
Well, jamming, I definitely feel better.
There you go. That's the only kind of jamming that we should be doing in this forest.
You feel well enough to keep going, or?
Does Philomena play
I
the pan
do.
flutes with her mouth or her trunk?
It's kind of hidden under the trunk. You can't do it with the trunk. That would be kind of awkward.
So I guess the question is, do you guys want to continue through off the beaten path, or do you want to head on to the path?
I think we decided onto the path. It was like a democratic vote, and from what I understand, at least the majority was voting for on the path, and everybody else was silent, so I don't think they cast a vote.
If we can just avoid eating any more strange things we find along the way, I see no reason why we can't continue through the woods like adults. But
the bread, if a little soggy, was still really good.
All right, there's one reason we can't continue like adults, so onto the path it is.
Truviel picks up a mushroom and hands it over to Vand.
No!
Abernathy smacks it out of your hand. That's poisonous!
Mouth wide
You
open.
have to eat these! And she'll pick a different clump of mushrooms. Here you go, dear.
So
Thank you.
So on or off?
We're going on the
I guess.
path. We're
Let's go.
going back.
We'll go back to the path.
So after your misadventures with Forest Jam, you decide to go on to the path, where you then continue for a little while. You guys, the sun is starting to set as you guys travel deeper into the forest on the path. Owls start to call, and you can hear the croaking of bullfrogs in the Goblin Fay Pond. I would like to have you guys all roll. What's everybody's passive perception?
Pretty cool.
That's a good question.
14.
12.
15.
11.
It is 10 plus the modifier for your perception.
Very well then. 13.
That's a
I think
16
I'm the
for
highest then.
Philomena.
Oh, Philomena, you beat me.
You guys all beat this.
We're perceptive as.
You guys are pretty perceptive. So you all kind of start to hear a rumble off in the woods. And you notice that there's more litter surrounding the path where you're going. Like more debris, and it's starting to get a little bit less well kept.
Is it like trash? Did someone trash this? Philomena will pick it up. The little bastards. Leaving garbage
You
out.
also notice that there seem to be a lot of items as you keep walking on that look like they were dropped in a hurry. Useful items. There's like clubs. There's other things that aren't.
I pick them all up, all of it. There's somebody, there's like a little, whatever it is, I pick it all up.
Bimp, I want you to roll me a perception check specifically.
Okie dokie smoky. 17 plus 3, that's 20. Not a natural 20.
So you are picking up some of the debris cluttered on the ground, and you actually realize a lot of it is standard issue Goblin Army stuff. There are some clubs. They've got the Goblin Army military insignia
What
on
does
them.
the insignia look like?
It's a real classy, military, the Goblin Army. So it's like, the insignia is like a screaming goblin head with 8 arms coming out of it, like around it, and all of them are holding different,
Nice.
either weapons of war or dismembered limbs.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Well recognizable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I used to be in that army.
You also notice a little bit off to the side that there looks to be an abandoned Goblin Army camp.
Everybody, hang on just a second. There's
This can't be good.
a Goblin military encampment up ahead. I'm
Please be careful.
gonna sneak up there and see what's going on.
We don't know your hand signals, though, so please, Bimp.
Well, that was why I said all the words with it just now.
Be very careful.
If you need help, what will your call sign be?
Oh, the usual signal.
Oh, no.
I'll scream help.
Oh,
Okay.
don't worry,
Yeah.
dearie. I'll send Rutherford with you, and I can look through Rutherford's eyes, and I can alert us to if he's in any danger.
Yeah, Rummage is really okay with that. He likes he I think he really likes Rutherford.
He wears a bow tie.
It's about the they like I'm 3'7" and 40 pounds, and I imagine Rutherford is about the same size.
He's
More or
3'6"
less.
and 50 pounds.
Yep.
Not even. I love them. You watch them walk off in the distance, and like my heart's just on my chest. Like, wow, they're so beautiful together.
Trivial, you're pretty good in the woods. Can you how stealthily can you follow along?
I'd say that I don't know where that is on my character sheet.
All right, good. Follow me.
That I can do.
All right. I'm gonna sneak up to the camp, Casey. I'm not just gonna brazenly walk up.
Sure, probably smart.
Yeah, I'm only doing that because I got such a good stealth modifier, but it doesn't matter because that roll was garbage.
I'm following after him, but
It's
better.
always smart to sneak.
My modifier was better than my roll. That's an 8 all told.
I got a 17.
Rutherford got a natural 20.
Nice.
All right, so as I'm saying, Trivial, how sneakily can you let me go? And then I do a big cartoon tiptoe up to the camp.
You reach the camp and you start like poking around. It's definitely abandoned. There's no other.
I call
there's
out in
no-
Goblin to see if anyone is there.
Nobody
I believe
responds.
it's definitely abandoned.
Oh. All right, well, then this stuff is mine.
It looks like it was abandoned in a hurry.
It looks like it was abandoned in a hurry.
Sorry, I'm going to take anything of value.
You find like in the general's tent, you find like 50 gold pieces and like a nice monogrammed sword.
Yeah, great. Love it.
You also find some funny hats.
Oh,
Funny military
swap out
hats.
my hat for one of those.
Is there any sign of, like, what may have driven the goblins out? Like, are there, like, monster tracks, or...
Nope, nothing like that.
So you're looking for that, and Rummage is standing in front of a mirror, swapping out different general hats.
Rutherford is going to use his keen smell to sniff around to see if he can notice if any like creatures who have passed by here recently or any distinct smells.
Oh, okay. Yeah, definitely. Does he have to roll something for that, or do I just give that information?
It's
How
a
does that-
perception check.
Okay.
Which I have,
I've never
which he
played
has
a wizard,
advantage
so
on.
I don't know how their familiars work.
So that is a 12.
On a 12, there's a lot of different animal smells. It's the forest. You can definitely smell that. You can definitely smell goblins, and hobgoblins, and you can smell lots of various woodland creatures. Some are bigger. You can smell a lot of different kinds of bears wandering around.
Hey, Vand, I feel kind of stupid asking this, but you're a druid, so can you talk to the animals and figure out what the rumbling was?
Oh,
Is that a
yeah.
thing you could do?
Yeah, I am only level 3, so I think my transformation capabilities are a little limited. I can't quite be like a bear, but there are so many other creatures in here, and I kind of have a preference to water-based ones, so you're asking a lot for me, because sweaty squirrels are often considered rabid, so I've had a bit of a hard time with that one.
I didn't know how talking to animals worked, so I didn't know if that was like a passive, like, hey, I talk to animals, or like, hey, I have to turn into animal and then talk to animal. So I figured I'd ask, me being...
Yeah.
He just does this and he hits a tree accidentally. Oh, fuck, yeah, that.
Oh, goodness.
I guess we'll come back and tell everybody that camp is abandoned.
Yalitza goes, "Oh, of course it is. We're right by the Goblin Fae caves."
Oh, what are those?
Can you elaborate, please?
Yes, absolutely. There's the famous caves in the woods. They're very kind of terrifying, actually. There's lots of giant snakes and owl bears and dragons, things like that in there.
You don't say.
Really?
And this is... You live in these woods.
Yes.
Love, have you considered a
Why?
retirement home?
This is my retirement home, really. I used to live in the town.
Did you know about the dragons before you moved to this retirement home?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure. Just want to make
They
sure
don't bother
that's
me.
what we're doing. Okay, cool. Just want to make sure. That's it.
Are you saying that elderly women can't look out for themselves in dangerous forest?
No, I was just making sure that's just what was going on. Just want to make sure. Yep.
she gives you a high five, Abernathy.
Yeah.
she definitely is like, this is my new best friend. Old lady best friends. We're gonna exchange some recipes.
We're gonna have tea next
last I
Tuesday.
checked, maybe the dragon enjoys hoarding strawberry candies.
Oh, I don't know about that. I don't know what it hoards. I don't go into the Goblin Fae caves. It's not smart. But there's
Let's maintain that tradition.
some sort of treasure in there, I guess, which is why there's always
So which
people
way
in
is
the
this
woods.
cave that I'm going into?
it's back
Trivial
there.
grabs Bimp by the back of his shirt collar or whatever he's wearing.
Hey, Chevy, hey, put me down. Come on. Gonna try to bite him.
Oh, Lord.
So, how much further till your house?
Well, not too terribly further. It's maybe another couple miles. We should get there before the sun completely sets. It's very lovely right now, though. I kind of want to stop and look at it. It's all lovely and pink and orange and red.
Yes, those sure are colors.
I hate to be that goblin, but something just killed an entire platoon of soldiers here. So perhaps maybe we don't linger.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
I missed that.
You
Did they
guys
all
are...
die? Are there bodies over there?
No, which is even more worrisome.
Oh, so it killed and ate them.
Do we know?
Oh, dear.
Were there signs that they were dead? Or are they just not here?
Well, they're all gone, and they left all their stuff.
Ah.
And as you can tell, goblins never leave stuff behind.
Right.
Gesturing at Bimp with, clubs and daggers and
He's
literally
filling his pockets
anything.
as you say that.
All right. Well, if they're not dead, then something scared the piss out of them. So, hope we don't run into that.
No, we didn't find any sign of that. Yeah.
Is there, I've got mad skills in history. Do I know anything about this area that I would be a little rumble in the back of my head of maybe I look through my notebook because I can't remember shit, as I've previously established, of I've known anything about this place before that might, give me a bit of an inkling of why there might be a rumbling and why might things be kind of weird here.
Sure.
Oh, and Abernathy, also being an anthropologist with Philomena, would assist her on on that.
Sure. You guys can roll history.
I'm having a wonderful track of rolling sixes this game. So
I'm eating you, so you get advantage.
Oh, I get advantage. I love it. Thank you. That's a 16.
Nice. And are you just aiding, or are you also rolling, Abernathy?
I'm just aiding.
Okay. On a 16, basically what Yalitza told you is what you know, that there's these woods are famed because They have, well, first of all, because they are just absolutely filled to the brim with fae, things also always go very strangely in these woods, as evidenced by the jam. And there is the famous Goblin Fae Caves. There is rumors of an ancient dwarven treasure buried down there. So there's a lot of adventurers come into the woods too. The amount of people that come out of the Goblin Fae Caves is minimal.
Great, but we don't need to go there, which I'm rather happy about because I'm rather large and caves don't tend to go so well when you have a literal elephant in them.
Yeah.
Right.
I think Philomena is going to give her Gourmand a little bit of a high five of like, giant people unite. Take on caves. No thanks.
Who is taller than, who's the tallest of the two of us? That's an actual question.
I believe that Luxodons get to be 8 feet tall.
Alright, so we're roughly the same height.
Same size,
Goliath.
Yeah.
Yeah, my god, that's all. Just,
We're huge.
Yeah, caves don't work for us. This is not how caves do.
Three of your party members are just too large for that.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of screaming in there. Unfortunately, we're a wee bit big.
See, I've got a plan. I'm going to tie this rope around my waist here like this, and then I give it. You take, and I put the other end in. I hold it up to Gourmand, and you hold this end. And if anything goes wrong, you can just pull me out of the cave.
You're the only one going in, right? Because there's no way I can go in there with just Bimp. I think that's kind of a terrible idea, especially if the strong ones are outside. Not that I think you have bad ideas, Bimp, but
I do.
Yeah.
Like this one. And we still have to get dear Yelitza home. So,
Yeah, let's
All right, on the way
back.
back. On the way back.
on the way back.
okay. Wipes away sweat.
So you guys continue on into the woods, further along the path, and you're starting to come around the second bend, and I am going to have you guys roll me a perception check.
13.
That's a 19 for Philomena.
14.
I got a 12 for whatever my name is, Trueveal.
I also got a 12.
12.
Everybody, it sounds like everybody got a 12 or beat a 12.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So you guys hear a sound of something crashing over the leaves and a snuffling sound. And then suddenly a bat bear with several pieces of debris stuck through his fur jumps over the bushes.
Oh, we were warned about
one of
these.
those.
Yeah, they said the bugbears, the bat bears.
Oh my.
I hide.
Actually, Vand, I want you to roll me an animal handling check because I feel like yours is going to be the highest. since you're good.
Let's see what it is. I put points into that. Yeah, I did. 22.
So
Nice.
you know that a bat bear is a bear that has the face of a vampire bat and subsists on fruit and blood.
Huh. A well-balanced diet. On the food pyramid, food at the bottom, maybe some granola, blood at the top.
You also know that bat bears are blind and rely on echolocation.
That's cool.
And it doesn't seem to have echolocated you guys yet. It is jumped over and gone into the Goblin camp, and it is rooting around in the debris, snuffling.
Okay, I think as soon as I spot it, I'm gonna wave my hands around a little bit, kind of shooting sweat out from my genasi body. Everybody, please, shh, everybody keep quiet. Look, that bat bear, just keep quiet, and maybe they can be our friend.
What?
I start acting like a tree.
Everybody want to roll me a stealth check?
Gladly.
Does Vimp have disadvantage just for being himself?
I'm really good at stealth.
I'm
It's
not.
one of my best things.
Well, that's
I got a 10.
That's a 16.
11.
Rutherford again rolled the natural 20. Abernathy
Are you sure you have a giant rat?
got a 13.
that was a 5 for Philomena.
So the thing that you had to beat was a 16. So anyone who beat a 16, you would be able to sneak by the bugbear. Or the bat bear, sorry.
I walk quietly past it, almost casually.
The rest of you start kind of trying to like walk, and who got the lowest?
So that would be me.
I think it was Philomena. So Philomena, you
Incredible to
step on a
believe.
twig.
But the elephant might be a little loud.
Is it a trick or is it a log?
Yeah.
I want to say that Rummage even gives it one of those like dismissive hand gestures as it walks past it, like this thing, not dealing with that.
Philomena's trying, bless her heart. She's just walking normal.
You step on a log or a twig or something, it breaks, and the bat bear snaps around and makes a bat noise. And
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
or possibly a bear noise.
There you go.
Listener's choice. And I'm gonna have you guys all roll initiative for me.
Do I have disadvantage because I'm still covered in jam?
You will not have disadvantage on your initiative, but you will have disadvantage on your first attack
Okay.
from being covered in jam. It's gross.
I got a 16.
15.
I got a natural 20.
Philomena got a 12.
Are you sure that wasn't Rutherford?
Just go ahead and stick me at the bottom. I got a 6.
15 for me.
Abernathy, what are you doing?
So she is going to use her action to cast Mage Armor on herself, and just stay ready. And she'll stand like defensively in front of the others. But yeah, that's her turn.
Okay. And then we've got Gourmand.
I'd like to rage.
You'd like to rage. That makes
Because
sense.
I've never done this before.
So rage is a bonus
so-
action.
Yep.
So
And then I'm
what does
going
it look
to,
like when you rage?
Gorman, I want to say that his rage is almost anticlimactic. Like everyone looks for a second and he goes slightly off green and goes, meh. And then pulls out a sword, pulls out a two-handed, he pulls out a glaive, pulls out a two-handed glaive. And, he's going to attack said, Bat Bear,
Yeah, Bat
I
Bear.
believe. All right, let me roll this glaive attack.
Bat Bear.
I got. It's not gonna hit. I got a 9.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Bat Bear has higher AC than a 9, so you go to attack it, and your glaive just seems to bounce off of its fur. Then, Bimp, what are you doing?
I'm gonna run up. I'm gonna sneak attack it while it's focused on Gourmand. I'm going to run up and stab it with my rapier. So if I'm successful, I do extra damage. All right, so that's 18.
Okay, that does hit its AC, or goes past its AC. So you sneak around back while it is preoccupied with the glaive that is ineffective, and you stab it with a rapier.
Great. So that's I do my damage and then an extra 2d6 because I'm a level 3 rogue. So that's 1, 5, and 6. That is 12 points of damage. And then I'm going to use my cunning action to disengage. So I'm going to run in, stab it, and then...
You do thus. And then we have Vand. What are you doing?
A little jealous and impressed by Bimp's skills. Vand is gonna kind of like square their shoulders from like their normally like nervous hunch and unholster their arrow, bow and arrow, knock it, and I'm going to use Acid Arrow, which is a 7-level evocation spell. Let me poke that.
Now, have you tried this before?
Well, no, of course not.
Because you shouldn't knock it till you've tried it.
Jesus Christ.
Volonda is going to be so happy with how many puns have been in this podcast so far.
Beautiful.
I don't know. I'm kind of punderwhelmed.
Out of my pockets, I'm going to pull out an adder's stomach and like smush it up a little bit with some powdered rhubarb leaf and then rub that around the arrow and then throw the remains to the ground and realize that I have poison on my hands, but my hands are so sweaty anyways that I just kind of shake it a little bit and it all comes off. But with this acid arrow knocked, let me simultaneously roll while I continue to describe. I never play whatever I am. What do I get to add? A 5. Does a 16 hit?
A 16 does hit its AC, yes.
Okay. So I like the idea of like to finalize this gross adder's stomach and rhubarb powder acid spell that I also spit a little bit in my hands because I've had literal acid in my stomach from that horrendous jam. And if Gourmand is close enough, I would like to like snatch a little bit of the jam on them and just like splatter that on the tip of this arrow to like finalize this beautiful acid arrow. And then I will release the spell.
Is the jam on Trivial or Gourmand?
Okay. Oh, sorry. The jam was on Trivial. Yeah. Thank you. Poor Trivial. You still a little
it's
sticky.
Okay.
8, 9. 9 damage.
9 damage. Okay.
You know, it was probably the saliva that really did that extra damage there.
Oh, yeah. The bat bear is hit and goes, ah! Or whatever noise bats make when they're hit. I'm not.
No, it's definitely that.
Oh, bless
That
its
was
heart.
bone chilling.
Got it in one.
Thank you. I'm very good at animal noises, obviously. One of my many talents as a podcaster.
Finest trait, for sure.
So, and then it turns around, and because you are the last person that attacked it, it's going to go after you. Because it is able to echolocate, I think, off of your arrows where it came from. So it is going to come at you with both its fangs and then its claws because it gets multi-attack. So let me roll an actual dice. Does a 16 hit your AC?
My armor class is 9. Yes, it hits my AC.
9 damage from the fangs.
Okay.
And then from the claws, that was an 18 against your AC. So it is another 6 damage.
How you doing there, buddy?
Everything hurts. Is this blood or is this sweat? I can't tell.
Oh, woof. I'm sorry, I can't heal you.
How bad you looking?
I mean, I'm alive. Everything hurts. And again, you know, I'm touching like my chest and I'm like, this is definitely just sweat, right? This is fine. And I look down and it's all red.
So Philomena, it's your turn.
Right. Well, I'm feeling a bit bad about this because clearly I was the one who screwed the pooch on this one. So I will sing a song. I'll sing a little ditty. I will take up my little pan flute and I will say, a little song of if I could turn back time, guys, if I could find a way, I would take back that twig that I stepped on and fucked it all up for us. And in feeling boistered by the great goddess Cher, I will give bardic inspiration to Vand.
What does that look like?
Well, you feel really inspired. Honestly, in any case where there's a Cher moment in any game, in any place, in any plane, you feel a moment of reverence just touch your heart. And you feel like you could just be a little bit better at anything you do if you wanted it to be. If you could just take the possibility of having a little bit of Cher's power, and then you could just use that for something in the next 10 minutes, I believe.
I think that's really powerful for Vand, you know, as long as you, believe in life after love.
Yeah, you gotta pick yourself back up. Yeah.
I mean, I really don't think you're strong enough.
Well, not right now, but that's why they've got inspiration.
Speaking of Truvial, what are you doing?
Okay, I would like to use my bonus action to Hunter's Mark the bear.
Okay, sure.
And then I'm going to pull out my bow and do a little shooty shoot at it.
A little shooty shoot.
If that's successful, it'll really help you in your trivial pursuits.
How long you been holding on to that one?
Ignoring that.
That was fresh. That's
Wonderful.
That's a 22 to hit.
Oh, you definitely hit it.
That will be 12 damage.
Ooh,
arrow damage.
Dang.
Is that piercing? Yeah. 12 arrow damage.
All right. Yelitza is next. She is going to look over and see that Vand is hurt, and she's going to go, "Oh dear." That's not her voice, but whatever. "Oh dear. Do you need some help, dearie?" And then she's going to cast Cure Wounds on you.
We're going to find out that this woman is like Baba Yaga.
Imagine if she's a healer.
She cures you for 11 points of damage.
How does that look?
Nice.
You just she holds out a hand and kind of emits a little ray of light towards you. It's very silvery light, and as it washes over you, you feel just kind of very peaceful.
I love that. I'm really thinking about all of those cookies from Philomena that I could have been eating. But that's a peaceful thought, just, imagining eating cookies.
Yeah. So then back to the top of the round, it is Abernathy's turn again.
You see Abernathy, she sees Van get hurt and gets real, just hot-headed, and you see she lifts up her great big half-fork leg and she stomps it on the ground and she points at this bat bear and she's like, "You go on and get!" And she's gonna cast Phantasmal Force on this bear. So it needs to make an intelligence saving throw.
Okay, well, it can do that.
I have to imagine that, when you put on that big display of being ready to kick this monster's ass, Rummage is just cackling.
Well,
gleefully.
He got an 8, so
Right,
I'm
so
assuming
he
that
fails. So this bear, so as she points at it, I imagine for a bat bear, like the thing that it would just really hate and cause it great fear and terror is just like the clanging of insanely loud bells or coins inside of like a Pepsi can. And as it hears, it's like ringing rackets, little big old bat ears. It has to. So it treats the phantasm as if it were real, and the target rationalizes any. Hold on, let's see. So it'll take damage from it. Each round, deal 1d6. So does 1 psychic damage to the bat bear.
Very intimidating. Bond is shaking in their boots for them.
So you should have done. We all know that a bear's arch enemy is a park ranger, and bats hate clowns. So some combination of those two things.
What? Clown?
Joker?
It's a Batman joke.
Thank you.
Oh.
Yeah, it's fine. You did not have to acknowledge it. It was good, but it was...
So, Gormand, what are you doing?
Other than the picnic basket filled with clowns, trying attacking, but I also just threw a die on my lap. That was hilarious. So I'm just gonna go at it with the glaive again. This time I've rolled a 19.
So you definitely hit it this time.
Alrighty, sweet. And then I roll a d10. And that's 3 plus 4 plus 2, I believe.
Yeah, for your rage damage is usually plus 2.
Alright, so I got 9 points of damage from my glaive on it.
Okay, you strike it with your glaive and it screams its nightmarish bat bear scream of pain.
Which sounds like...
So then it is Bimp's turn. What's Bimp doing?
It's going to be more of the same. A sneak attack, going to run up and rapier that thing again, if I can.
Yeah. Let's see if you can.
Let's see. It's 11 plus, what's my... 16. Does that connect?
Yes.
Okay. I'm also going to use, on this attack, somebody else, one of my friends is currently fighting it, right?
I am, yeah.
Yeah.
Great. So then that's a sneak attack, so I get bonus to that. But also, I'm going to use, since I'm playing Goblin with the rules from Volo's Guide to Everything, the Goblins get a trait called Fury of the Small, which is once per short rest. I can add my rogue level to my damage on an attack to a creature larger than myself.
Ooh, nice.
Ooh. So, roll for damage. That's a 7 plus 3 is 10 plus 2d6 because it's a sneak attacker. So that's a 1 and 6. That's another 7. So that's 17 plus 3. 20 points of damage.
How
Very
do you
nice.
kill this bat bear?
Oh, I think while it's dealing with Gormand, I see an opening. It's bent over slightly. Or who was the last one who took a swipe at it?
Yeah, it was me.
Oh, who hit it? Yeah.
Yeah. It's bent over slightly, and I scamper up its back, and then just bury the rapier between its shoulder blades.
Nice. And it goes down with a and
Aww.
I'm gonna hear that sound in my nightmares.
and it dies. And you guys are out of initiative.
Rogues in 5th Ed are
Well,
gross.
that was a thing.
Goblin,
Eventful.
Fey Wood, lots of bear bats.
And Helitz is like, "Oh, this is so fun! I haven't had this much fun in a long time. This has been a while since I've been on an adventure."
Does this thing have pockets of any kind?
It is a
depends
bear,
on what you
so
consider
no.
pocket.
Depends on what you consider a bear.
Oh dear.
So
I thought my joke was bad. That was
Yulitza looks at you guys and says, "Oh, it's Van. You still look a little worse for wear. Hold on." And she does a little bit of fiddling in her hands, and she casts dancing lights. And she's like, "Let's get back to my house."
Thank you. Can I call you Grandma? Is that okay?
Yes, of course. You can call me grandmother or grandma, whatever. Grammy.
Thanks, Jima.
You then call her something you didn't ask if you could call her.
perfect.
She seems like a lot livelier. Like she seems like this fight really perked her up. And as you're walking closer to her house, she's like complimenting you guys on your fighting style. She's like, "Wow, Bimp, you're very sneaky. I almost didn't even see you going up against that bear. And Abernathy, oh my goodness, that phantasmal force was wonderful."
I'm gonna take an insight check on this old lady here and see if she's
I love her.
yanking my chain here, or is she screwing me around.
She's pure and perfect.
That's 14.
Yeah, she's just really excited that she's being genuine. She's just like very excited to have watched all you guys fight, and she's like
Very suspicious of someone who approves of something I do.
She's like, "Philomena, dear, that song was lovely." You guys are walking back, and Yulitza is just complimenting you guys, and she's just very happy. And you guys walk up to this very lovely little cabin. Hold on, let me get the. So it's just this really cute little like cottage almost. There's like ivy climbing up the walls, and it's got like a lot of little petunias and other potted plants outside. She walks over to the archway and opens the front door and lets you guys in. There is a little sitting room with like little very floral kind of decorations, floral couches, stuff like that. There are 2 couches and a big nice reclining chair with like a little table in the middle. And she gestures for you guys to sit down. She's like, "Let me make you guys some tea." And she wanders off into the kitchen.
That's awful nice of you.
Quick question. Is there plastic on the furniture?
Yeah, of course there is. She's a grandma.
Okay, then I trust her. If there wasn't plastic on the furniture, I wasn't touching it.
That's how you know it's a doppelganger.
I'm not going to steal anything, but I am going to like visually scan the room for whatever valuables are in it.
Well, sure. You want to roll me a perception?
Yeah. Oh yeah, gladly. Or maybe investigation. Or
Sure.
Is that the wrong
investigation? That also works.
thing? Whatever. Either way, they both have the same modifier. It's a 6. This is a terrible roll.
It doesn't really seem to be anything valuable in the sitting room. It's a very delightful little grandma sitting room. You know, there's like a little shelf with a ton of, porcelain on it.
Oh, like little porcelain animals.
Some precious moments.
Yeah, absolutely. She has a ton of. It seems like a lot of her porcelain animals are bears, like little bears doing like little cute little circus things and little like. She's got a cute little porcelain. It seems like she has a thing for bears. She's very
into them.
Yes, you could say that. I wouldn't, but you could.
Yeah. Sorry, that was a grisly joke.
It seems like you couldn't bear it, but
I think you nailed it.
Harold, don't join in. It's Urs versus them.
I'm really just gonna go and hide.
Oh, this is delightful. I'm so glad you guys are all here. So after a little while, she walks back out and she puts a tray on the little table in front of you guys, and there are little porcelain teacups with a floral motif that all have a very nice smelling tea in it, and little jam cookies.
Can I eat some jam cookies?
Question. I don't know. Does it look like I have a very long nose, right? And a really good sense of smell.
Yeah.
Does it smell like the jam that was in the forest?
No, it's strawberry.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't catch what flavor it was besides.
Besides poison.
Yeah.
Besides, no, that's just the flavor as it was poison.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Truvial picks up the jam cookie and, compares it to the jam that's still on his arm.
She comes over to you, Truvial, and she's got a little wet. She's got a bunch of wet naps, and she's doing the grandma.
Oh god, she pulls out the napkin from the bottom of her purse.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Rummage is gonna take out another monogrammed handkerchief with a different set of initials and tuck it into his shirt collar and have a tea and cookies.
Lisa, you did a wonderful bit of magic there, and it sounds like you've done some adventuring before. What was that like? What were you doing back then? I love a story.
Oh, well, back in my youth, I used to adventure quite a bit. So did my granddaughter, actually. We come from a long line of adventurers. I fought some dragons once, actually.
Wow.
It was really... Well, I'm too old for that now. I just...
No.
I'm just here in my... my time is past. It's time for youngins like you to take on adventuring, And she looks at Abernathy and she's like, and obviously, you're young too. And she kind of chuckles.
Yeah. I feel like Abernathy and I both exchange glances after that youngins like you crack. Because I'm also old.
That's true.
To be fair.
I'm old.
To be fair, I'm only 45, but I look like a 90-year-old woman.
I'm the same age, but for a goblin that is 90.
It's
Exactly.
funny that, because Philomena is 200 years old. Luxodons live forever. They live to 450 before they're seniorly old.
I'm like a dog to you.
You guys keep talking about you're old, and I'm all the elders of this group.
Or like a Han Solo to Chewbacca.
So, are you guys... So you're drinking the tea or eating the cookies?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Don't want to
Drinking the
be
tea, eating
rude.
the cookies. How are the cookies?
The cookies are delicious. They are a very lovely strawberry jam cookie. They're the thumbprint cookies with the jam in the middle.
Oh, those are my favorite.
TPK.
And,
I'm so suspicious.
Truvial spikes his tea before he drinks it.
Everyone who drinks the tea, your health and spell slots go back up to full.
Ooh. Ooh.
Whoa.
Never mind. I take back my TPK comment. Unless she's about to be let's roll initiative.
TPK.
Oh, yeah. TPK. Yep. You got it.
I see you, Truvy.
Does that count for my bardic inspiration as well?
Yes, it does. All of your...
What I've
it's
learned
like
about
having a long
Trivial-
rest.
What I've learned about Trivial is that he always has booze.
Well, he does
That's it. That's his one character
exclusively
trait.
hang out with us. So I feel like
Can you blame him?
all Trivial's done this entire thing is get a bit of jam on him and get like irritated by the rest of us.
I shot an arrow once.
And it was an amazing arrow.
And I imagine, like, just the way you said that, I imagine that one arrow shot had to be a bit of like, with an eye roll as well.
Oh yeah,
Like-
for sure.
If I have to.
You guys notice it's starting to get. It's the sun is now completely set and the moon is out. It is a beautiful full moon, rising up, and she's just chilling with you guys, like talking to you about past adventures and asking you guys. Like she's like, "Oh, how did you guys meet?"
Well, we all answered this ad on Fantasy Craigslist. I just bought a beard off of a man.
I'm still dying to know the rest of that story.
There's no time.
There's no time.
She's a werebear.
I love this recurring joke.
I mean, even if it's a long story, maybe if you just give it a trim.
I would love to hear that. We have all the time and all the tea.
No, you see, there's just... I mean, it's really getting quite late, and we've got to go collect that gold, so we should really be on our way.
That's true. We got to go back to get paid. Really should have insisted on half.
Elisa looks at you and she goes, "Oh, do you have to leave? Do you have to leave so soon?"
Oh, yes, dear. You know, we should really hit the road. You've been too nice and accommodating us this evening. We don't want to be any more of a
changed
burden.
into my pajamas.
Everybody, throw me a wisdom saving
Oh,
throw.
I knew it!
Oh, no!
Well, you see, we don't want to put you in a jam.
There it is.
Oh, I'm going to use my portent. So oh, wait, no, I have to decide that before I make the roll. No, I'm just going to take this natural one.
14.
I have a question.
9.
Is it a wisdom check that is a wisdom saving throw?
Yes, that is what they said.
Can I use inspiration on a saving throw? I don't remember.
Mhm.
Yeah, awesome.
Is it as
I was just going to say, I got a 4 unless we're going to be charmed. Because Fey ancestry, I'd have advantage.
is this charmed or frightened? That was exactly my question.
It is not charmed or frightened.
Okay, then I got a 4.
You got a 12.
14.
It's a 9.
9. And
14?
You got what, Harold? 14?
14.
B? 14 also?
14.
Mm.
What did Abernathy get?
Also a 4.
Ooh, okay.
What did the rat get?
Philomena?
I got a 12.
Okay. So none of you passed that.
Oh, great.
And they stayed there forever and ever. And
You guys all start to feel really like strange. You start to feel like you really, really like it here. You don't want to leave. You're really digging it here. And Litz is like, "No, please, stay. It's been so long since I've had visitors, and my granddaughter, she lives so far away, and she doesn't visit me very often. It's so nice to have some nice, young, strong people around to sit around. And I definitely want to hear the story about how Trivial bought a beard and where did it go?" And
along with having changed into my pajamas, I'm now thumbing through a cheap paperback.
I'm going to have you guys roll again, and this time it is a charm. So anyone who has advantage on charm, you will have that.
Oh, very nice. That's a 22.
The 8.
I just rolled a d10. Hold on.
Yeah, I also got an 8.
I got a 10.
Philomena got a 19.
Wait, I'm sorry. This is wisdom.
Philomena got a 19 on that one.
Okay. So anyone who beat a 17, you start to break out of it. You feel like you can tell you're being charmed, and that you're being having illusion cast on you of some sort.
Right. Now,
everyone else, you still feel like you're like, yeah, man, I could like live here with this grandma and like drink tea every day.
Well, you see, I met this bearded man on Fantasy Craigslist.
We don't have time for that now. There's more cookies.
You're right. And I eat a cookie.
Right. So,
I don't think I love the cookies as much. I love the cookies, but like now I don't feel like I love the cookies. And
That's a weird way to be.
Yeah. I reach up very high and try to put a cookie into Gorman's mouth.
Just bends down.
Yeah.
While the people who have broken out, which I think is Abernathy, Philomena, and then Vand also. You guys, when you look at Yalitza, you can see everybody else. She just looks like she's just normal, like talking to you. The rest of you guys can see her head is down and she's using her hands like very heavily to cast something.
right. Hey, Elisa.
Yes, dear.
Yeah. Well, not to be rude or something, because I know that you've just given us some biscuits and some tea, but they did feel a little funny, and it looks like you're casting something right now, which seems a little rude.
a little.
Don't be rude to our host.
Everybody roll one more time for me.
Oh, this is where I feel. Heck.
Ooh, I'm going to choose to use my portent, and I'm going to choose the 19 that I rolled earlier as my roll.
11.
17? 17.
10.
Okay. Anyone who beat a 17, if you hadn't before, you now know that you're being charmed and having an illusion cast on you, and you can see that she is casting something. Vand, because you beat it before, but now you failed, you start to feel yourself going back under, but you're kind of, it's a charm. So now that you know that you're charmed, you're kind of able to catch it, but you have to kind of like fight it a little bit.
You have to understand, Van's only motivations are really just to eat a bunch of cookies, but the disappointment is that they get incredibly sweaty before they get to their mouth.
That's a sad lot in life.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
There are not many biscuits left. What's everybody else doing?
that doesn't look right.
Still
Man,
just eating cookies, drinking tea, and reading my cheap novel.
You know you don't have to try to force people to stay with you. You can just be kind and people be better than your family are to you.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, I do.
Yeah. It would help if you didn't live fuck off in the middle of the woods surrounded by bug bat bears and weird, missing goblins and maybe a dragon. Maybe go back to living in the city and you can have yourselves a book club, if you're lonely.
I'm going to attempt to intimidate her. I think I want to roll
Where's
that.
all this hostility coming from?
Rummage. So we're being charmed here just now.
Okay.
Yeah, very clearly. This place is
Oh, but
delightful.
I mean
That
literally.
is-
Magically.
That is a 19.
I got a 5. So she's intimidated, but anyone who's under the illusion is still under the illusion.
You
She's
should.
like backing down, and she's like kind of backing away from you. And she's like, "Oh,
You should let them go.
Who's still under it aside from me?
I think
That
trivial."
would be Truvial.
All right, yeah, it's just okay, got it.
Can I cast calm emotions?
You can sure. What does that do?
So it says I attempt to suppress strong emotions in a group of people. Each humanoid in a 20-foot radius sphere centered on a point I choose within range must make a charisma saving throw. A creature can choose to fail this if it wishes. If a creature fails its saving throw, choose one of the following 2 effects. And the thing that I wanted was you can suppress any effect causing a target to be charmed or frightened. When the spell ends, any suppressed effect resumes, provided that its duration has not expired in the meantime. So I'm going to go to Rummage and Trivial and be like, just go with it. And and cast Calm Emotions and hope they just choose to fail.
Can I just choose to fail? Like, is that cool?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I fail.
I'm not sure what's happening.
Does Bimp have to roll?
Bimp has to choose either to fail it if you believe, Philomena, that you should just go with whatever's happening right now, or you can roll a charisma saving throw to try and resist the spell that
I'm
Philomena's
going to
casting.
leave that up to fate. Odds I go with it. Nope.
So, like, what does Philomena look like
Make
when
a
all of this
charisma
is
saving
happening?
throw.
18
Like, how is she trying
minus what? 17.
to convince Bimp?
So now Bimp is the
17,
only
damn.
person still under the charm spell.
Of course he is.
He's a comfortable old man with a big plate of
I
cookies.
mean, mood. That's a wonderful life.
Yeah, yeah.
So, Philomena, how it looks is they're going to. There's a visual somatic. I don't think there's a material part of it, but I guess I have to move my hands in some way. So I'm gonna, in part of the just go with it. That's how I'm gonna cast my calm emotions, and then kind of like a crowd, like, and we're going down now. I'm gonna take it down now. It works on Trivial. So Trivial, I don't think right now during my up to 1 minute duration of the spell, you are no longer charmed. So hopefully you can be reasoned with. But Rummage,
Can
you
I
are
walk up
This
and
lovely
just
little cottage.
Can I walk
charmed.
up and just like slap Bimp across the face to try to snap him out of it?
I don't know if that works for
And also
charm.
for fun?
Sure, you can do it.
Okay, do I just roll for that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Roll unarmed. So I guess strength, just strength.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen. It was like a 3.
And an unarmed attack.
Is
I'm
charm a
going to say that you
concentration spell?
connect. It just doesn't do it.
Dude,
It's
like-
just like a soft...
Yeah, a gentle
What's it look like
caress.
when you fail to slap Bimp?
Trivial is a useless little twing that just walks up and softly caresses your cheek.
A caress.
slap.
Uh,
Don't do that.
Stop it.
No, you stop it.
Trivial mode for the
I'm
people.
going to give you a hard look and be like, Trivial, what is going on with this?
Well, I'm covered in jam, so that's not
No,
ideal.
I was there.
That doesn't mean you need to get jellied.
Right. If Bimp is the only one right now that is still charmed, but I've only got a minute for calm emotions, I'm going to tuck Bimp under my arm like a little cantankerous baby. And I'm going to be like, all right, out we go.
Okay. Are you
And
guys all trying to
get
leave?
us- and try and get us to run.
I'm just gonna nicely stand up and not hit my head on the ceiling, and next time just be nice to people, and they'll tend to do more positive
Yeah.
things for you. And then
As you
walk out
guys
the door.
approach the door, it actually swings open, and Nadija is standing there, and she's like, "What was taking you guys so?" Oh God, Grandma, not again! And Nadija, Yulitza's like, Yulitza immediately stops casting the spell, and Bimp, you were no longer under a charm or illusion spell. And she's like, Nadesia, well, how nice to see you. And Nadesia's like, oh my God, Grandma, this is like the 5th time. And she just
Today.
like, she just like, she kind of like looks at you guys and she's like, I knew that you guys were taking long for a reason. Come on. And she like holds the door open for you. Well, I mean,
Is your concert over? How did it go?
How long have we been gone?
Wow.
it went really well. My
like an
my violin
afternoon.
solo. Oh my God, I got standing applause, but that's not the point. Let's go back to Tom's Tavern.
Right. Speaking of which, though, maybe you should invite your grandma to your concerts so that she can feel part of it.
Yeah, maybe if you were just nicer to her, she wouldn't have to, take people under duress and trap them into your house.
Well, that's,
Yes, I think we've all learned a lesson here. Philomena, put me down!
Yeah, all right. As soon as he starts yelling, I'm going to put him down.
she's
You look like a wee garden gnome like this.
Nadesia sighs and shakes her head like in
That's
exasperation,
very
and then
insensitive.
you guys all feel a tug
To the garden gnomes.
on your navel, and you're back in Tom's Tavern with Nadesia.
Quick question. If you could do that,
the
why
fuck?
didn't you just use that to get your grandmother home?
right.
Well, I can only do it when the moon's out.
You couldn't have just waited like 4
You guys
hours.
saw what she was like, right? I should probably explain. And she sits and she goes to sit down, and then she's like, "Can I buy you guys a beer or something?"
I need a tankard
Yeah, that would be
large one.
good. That would be good.
this large.
Large tankard.
I'm switching to decaf.
Anyone else? Beer,
and
wine,
some,
mead.
Wine
Biscuits to sop off this,
with some jam.
gesturing at the jam that is still
No,
covering
don't.
him.
Absolutely.
Right.
And 300 gold pieces.
Yes.
Each.
I don't have the kind of money to give you guys 300 gold pieces each, but I'm going to give you an extra 100 gold pieces because what my grandma did.
I'm afraid we're going to have to feed you to Gormand.
That's the big one.
So she wanders back towards the bar with all of your orders. And while she's over there, you guys notice that the place is a lot more pumping than it was earlier.
Is it more
It's a little
jamming?
bit more like a bar scene. There are a lot more people. What?
Jamming.
Damn it.
I would have hoped you liked jamming too.
I'm sorry about how loud I laughed.
Thank you. Honestly, it brings me joy when somebody laughs at my bad puns, so don't ever apologize.
So she walks back with mead and beer and whatever you guys had ordered. Oh gosh. And she sits down with a giant tankard of beer for herself and takes a huge swig and then looks at you guys like really apologetically. And she goes, "So my grandma's really not a bad person usually. So the issue is when the moon comes out. So it's a long time ago, one of our ancestors made a deal with the god of the moon to have a baby, and so that our family could be powerful. And the downside of that is that we all lose our dang minds when the full moon comes out." Hey guys, it's Casey. I hope you enjoyed this episode. And I think I might have outpunned Eyþór's episode in this one. So I don't know. Let me know. Anyway, I don't know if I mentioned in the episode, I might have kind of briefly, but my younger sibling actually wrote this one shot that I'm using. So thanks, Claudia. I hope I didn't totally fuck up your scenario and that you're enjoying it. And also thanks to all my amazing friends who came and played this really adorable, cute cottagecore grandma game with me. You should definitely go check out all of them and all their podcasts. Also, you know what else you should do is you should send us an email. We love to hear from you, and our inbox is always open. It is the Lucky Die Podcast at gmail.com. You know, we're always open to hearing from you guys, so please shoot us over an email and stick around for an ad from the Shadows of St. Fleur and some more puns. So, see you guys in the next season. Except for me, because I'm only half elf, so I'm mostly able to control it, but Grandma is a full-blooded elf, so she cannot.
That's rough, buddy.
That's rough, man. Sokka says. It's rough, buddy.
It's Abernethy's catchphrase. Everybody, we're just tired of hearing her say it at this point.
Like, that might have been a thing that you put in your Craigslist, fantasy Craigslist ad of like, my grandmother goes a bit barmy on the full moon. I need someone to escort her home. As a heads up, she might try to kidnap you at the end. That's why it's 300 gold.
Yeah, well, I kind of assumed you guys would have gotten back before the moon came out.
Yeah, there was a bear.
And a
That
picnic.
bear,
We got,
And some
we got
jam.
into a bit
There was
of
a jam as
that's
well,
true.
yeah. Yeah.
And we
What a bit of a
decided
traffic
to have a
jam there.
picnic.
that might have taken the most
Yeah,
time,
that's true.
if
We
we're
also
being
did that.
completely honest, but we'll glaze by
This
that.
is really on us.
Still, though, before we left, you could have been like, by the way, if you happen to have a picnic or find some jam in the middle of the forest and have to deal with that, at full moon, my grandmother, as mentioned, goes barmy and tries to kidnap you.
Yes, you should have warned us about the mid-forest picnics.
Well, I you know, it's kind of like a family secret, and that's why I didn't really, but you guys deserve to know because it affected you. I'm really sorry. That's extra. Here's 400 gold pieces. I'm so sorry, you guys. I really didn't intend for. She wouldn't have kept you for long anyway. She would have gone back to her senses in the morning.
Right. But the trauma of that lasts for a lot longer for us.
Yeah, I'm thinking of going back, though. Hey, there's a guy up here selling a mustache!
How much is he asking for it?
You must ask him.
You mustache him yourself.
See if he's got a handle on it.
Can he shave it for later?
Make sure to comb through the fine details.
Someone came and grabbed him. They just whiskered him away.
Oh, I was hoping he'd be here tomorrow so I could buy it from him.
Oh, just brush him off.
It's enough of your lip.
Hello and welcome to St. Fleur, where the city is modern, the fantasy is urban, and the faction politics are at an all-time high. Join us in Shadows of St. Fleur as we follow the wizard, Alistair Lockwood.
Regret to inform you, I'm not a wizard. I am a master of the arcane arts.
The scholar, Jeremiah Roderick Crawford.
I'm an earl, you know, and you're a baron. Those words carry some weight.
The wolf, Victor Margaret.
Victor stands on the bridge in the cold. Fuck.
The fae who is known only as Silk.
Do we know if this was a standard mugging?
And the vamp, Alex Giroux.
Quite. Because the first time the door opens, I'm going to push her out.
Through their experience in the city. Shadows of St. Fleur is an Urban Shadows actual play podcast with a majority LGBTQ+ cast playing characters finding their way through faction politics, all in pursuit of their own individual goals. Find it wherever you listen to podcasts.